Drake and J. Cole are going on tour together. We got this announcement today. It's pretty big considering those two are two of the horsemen with Kendrick together of hip-hop, as we call them. So today we're going to take a look at this and what this means for the fall off and Drake taking a break from music. All of this combined, there's a lot to uncover when it comes to this tour, so let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and it details everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure you sign up for that. So if you joined my live stream just a couple of hours ago, you know that I found out about this while being live, so shout outs to everybody that was there. But we got an announcement today from Drake when he posted something to his Instagram together with Drake Related that we can see is a collab between OVO and Dreamville with a really cool icon or logo that they got, and we can see it's all a Blur tour, big as the what, Drake and J. Cole. And then in the caption it reads, right back at it, Cash App pre-sale available for everyone, check Drake Related for details. Now obviously this big as the what is a reference to first person shooter, so the song On For All The Dogs that featured J. Cole, and they said big as the what, big as the Super Bowl. Y'all know that song, and this is pretty big. I thought that they were just gonna do one show together, just to kind of, you know, they got some songs to perform together. I would love to hear In the Morning live, like that would be something that I would love to hear. And then live on stream, I went over to DrakeRelated.com and you can see that this is actually a whole freaking tour together, starting January 18th and running all the way to March 27th. So over 2 months, they're on tour together. Drake and J. Cole for the Big As The What, It's All a Blur tour. Now, I got a lot of question when it comes to this, so let's talk about it. Now, first of all, Drake just came from the It's All a Blur tour together with 21 Savage. I think it finished in early October, a week before For All The Dogs dropped. And so he's just constantly on tour now. He had like 2 months off, and then he's right back at it on tour, which is really stressful. You know, it's something that maybe has to do with the financial situations of this, because there's big bags in there if you're just touring constantly, especially if you're Drake and especially if you're touring with 21 Savage and J. Cole. So you're kind of getting a whole lot of fan bases in, and I mean Drake basically got all the fan bases, but now he got even more. So I think it's a lot of financial sides, but also, and this is one interesting part that I wanted to bring up right after For All The Dogs dropped, y'all remember Drake said that he was going to take a break because he had some health issues, he had some issues with his stomach, with his digestion, whatever was going on, and he needed to focus on that. And so he was going to take a break from music. And maybe he wants to give us this tour as kind of like, okay, and now I'm out for a couple of years, or I'm out forever, we don't know. But maybe this is kind of the last big hit that he wanted to do before he kind of takes a break for a bit. That's the first thing that I thought. Now, one of the first things that I also thought was, why would you call it the It's All a Blur tour, Big As The What? Because why not call it the Big As The What tour? Why you gotta put It's All a Blur in there? Because It's All a Blur was the 21 Savage tour, and I mean it wasn't necessarily only the 21 Savage tour. It was this whole concept. I mean, we got a trailer for it that I really liked about this whole career so far for Drake being all a blur, because everything was happening so fast and he went through so many different stages in his career. But yeah, why call it the It's All a Blur? That still doesn't make sense to me. Also, of course, when we talk about this, people are gonna bring up the possibility of them having an album together that they're touring for, that will drop before it. Because why else would you go on tour together? Drake did it with 21 Savage after they dropped Her Loss. But then you also got to take into consideration that Drake also went on tour with the Migos for the Aubrey and the Three Amigos tour in 2018, and they didn't have a record together. They only had a song together. And now Drake and J. Cole have a song together, First Person Shooter. Obviously we had In the Morning and all that, but like as of recent songs. And so I don't think that they got new music like an album or whatever coming out. But what is interesting is that J. Cole does have a new album coming out pretty soon, which is The Fall Off, and we never knew when it was going to come. The last release is over 2 years in the past with the off season, but J. Cole most recently referenced The Fall Off on the Safe Space podcast with Lil Yachty when he talked about launching his own podcast before the album drops and going into a bunch of different stories. So the possibility that J. Cole fanboy copism in me is telling me that J. Cole will drop before this tour, because then they would have a reason to go on tour together so J. Cole can perform his album, because I mean J. Cole is likely gonna do a tour for The Fall Off. So would it make sense for him to go on tour before, then drop the album in spring, summer next year and go on tour right after? We all know he got family. He got a wife and kids and Dreamville to take care of, other artists. Would it really make sense for him to be on the road for an entire year? I'm not sure. The J. Cole fanboy in me is telling me something's going to drop before this tour, but then again, he only got 2 months left to drop, which is really not a long time. And if you're J. Cole, I think you want to have a really big rollout, so it would need to start any day now, which I would completely love. But honestly, I'm thinking that this is just going to be a little fun tour together. But it is really big, because those are the two people out of the three, if we take Kendrick into this, that we always consider the three horsemen of new generation hip hop, because it was always J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick, and those three occupied different lanes, but they were always the three big artists that we look up to, and now two of them are going on tour together. I mean, if they put Kendrick into this, that would be completely insane. I didn't think that they would ever do a tour together. Now, as I said in the beginning, they got some songs together. In the Morning, would love to hear that live. That would really be something that I would love to hear. But aside from that, I guess it's going to be mainly their biggest hits, if nothing drops before then. I don't think that this will be connected to her loss. I guess Drake will perform for All the Dogs, as that is the most recent one. J. Cole is not, present at all dates. There are 4 dates, the last 4 dates in March that J. Cole will not be attending, maybe, and this is kind of the next thing that I'm going into. I know I'm reaching, but maybe because he got his own album rollout to take care of. But hey, I'm not saying anything, okay? This is completely not confirmed. Yeah, but that's it. J. Cole and Drake are going on tour together. We don't know for what, maybe just for the sake of it. Let me know what y'all think this tour is really for. What's the purpose behind this? How do you think they're gonna, do this entire thing? And what's the reason behind this? And when do you think The Fall Off is dropping? And how long do you think Drake's break will actually be? Let me know all your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.